Gentleman yields back. The gentlelady from California is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me be clear. I am not here to defend the European laws, and I've often criticized the approach of European countries to internet-related issues. It's really generally wrong-headed. But I don't really think that's the point of this hearing. I think the real threat to the First Amendment isn't coming from Europe. It's coming from Republican-led states that have introduced bills to close the open internet, and most of all, from Donald Trump, who's actively trampling free speech here at home. I think it's rather absurd for this committee to spend our time criticizing laws we have no jurisdiction over while ignoring the countless ways the Trump administration is tearing up the First Amendment. If this committee is really serious about protecting free speech, we need to focus on the Trump administration's literal assault on the First Amendment that's happening right here at home. So, Professor Kaye, I have a series of questions for you. Do you think that arresting international students for being critical of U.S. foreign policy is an attack on the First Amendment?
Yes, absolutely.
And isn't that because it's not just the right of the person to speak, but the right of all the rest of us to hear? The First Amendment isn't just about the speaker, it's also about the listener. Isn't that correct?
Right, that's true.
Now, a federal judge agreed with you and with us, warning that arresting students for their views chills the speech of millions of Americans. The government can't punish speech simply because they don't like its content. This year, as has been mentioned by others, President Trump's FCC blocked the CBS merger until the network agreed to change its programming and install a so-called bias monitor. The head of 60 Minutes resigned, saying he could no longer make independent decisions about the news. Doesn't that sound like a violation of the First Amendment's guarantee of a free press?
It does, and I think it's important to underline that restrictions on free speech don't come just from a law or the police outside your door. It can come from a whole network of intimidation, of public attack that really does chill speech, including the kinds of attacks that lead to deportations of people who are here just to study.
Since January, the Trump administration has revoked over 6,000 student visas because the speech of these students didn't align with what Trump agreed with. And now they're doing the same to immigrants who are applying for citizenship. Does that raise First Amendment concerns, do you think?
I think it raises First Amendment concerns, but it's also in a broader way, it's raising concerns about our tolerance of dissent, of this government's tolerance of criticism. And not everything is specifically about the First Amendment and the ability to enforce it in our courts. Sometimes it's about leaders in our country actually promoting a culture of open debate and open access to information, the very things that we've heard a lot about already this morning, a kind of marketplace of ideas that some people still talk about. That's not just about what the law provides, that's also about how our leaders behave towards that kind of open debate.
The Federal Trade Commission held up a merger of two major advertising firms, Omnicom and Interpublic, until they agreed to run ads on X, essentially a government-ordered gift to Elon Musk. Isn't that a blatant violation of free speech standards, forcing private companies to promote speech they otherwise wouldn't?
It's certainly a kind of extensive use of the term of jawboning that has come up over the last several years. And it's a kind of pressure that absolutely interferes with free speech. And it's also the kind of weaponizing of our federal agencies in support of a particular actor, a particular business person.
It seems to me that these actions affect not just the companies or the individuals that are the target of this abuse, but they're also to scare off everyone else from engaging in that behavior. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that what we're seeing right now with just this essentially a kind of avalanche of restrictions and intimidations of free speech in this country, that it's designed to chill that kind of debate. It's designed to chill whistleblowers, to chill scientists, to chill professors and students. I think that's essentially what we're witnessing right now.
My time has expired, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Generally yields back.
Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous